This episode of Another Great Day is brought to you by singing. Sometimes noises can be nice. It's Monday, April 24th, 2023. I'm Aaron, and this is my wonderful, beautiful voiced choral boy, Chris.
Coral?
Hey, you're made of coral.
Yes.
You can sing.
Yes.
That's the trick. People don't know you're made of coral from the Great Barrier Reef, but you're also a good singer.
Thank you. That's what I got.
Well,
life lessons,
Chris and
kids
Nanada
out there. Life lessons. There you go. Ready? When someone says something nice to you, you say thank you.
Yeah. Chris,
all you gotta do.
Thank you for being a good sport and going along with my really, really weird joke. Well, anyways, this is another great day, and we are so glad you're here for the 958th episode of Another Great Day. This is a podcast designed to encourage interaction, creativity, and conversation. And Chris, you know what we're here to not do? We're not here to encourage interactivity, which is a word I used a lot last week, and I used it incorrectly. Maybe some people, not the little paper clip from Microsoft Word, but some people told me that was the wrong word to use.
Interactivity?
Yes, we're here to encourage interactivity, creativity, and conversationtivity. Yeah, no, I used the wrong word. So just thought I'd go ahead and address that right off the bat.
Wait, so what's the right word?
Interaction, not interactivity.
Oh, the one we've written down.
Yeah, the one that's in the script that we should be reading right now. Well, that'll lead us over to today's newish Monday segment. Yeah, if you saw my Instagram post from yesterday, we are continuing on with our newish segments, and I hope you guys are enjoying these. This one is called, What Is It You'd Say You Do Here? And this is a Monday segment designed to help you folks learn more about what people do for their work. And in my opinion, there are a lot of really cool jobs out there. When I was a youngster, Chris, I don't know about you, I didn't know what people did for a living. And so I thought this would be really fun for our listeners to hear what it is people do all day. And so with that being said, let's go ahead and turn it over to our co-host, Chris. Chris, what's your name?
Hello, my name is Chris.
Oh, hi, Chris. Thanks for being here. What is it you'd say you do here?
On this podcast, I am with Aaron. But separately from this, I do video production. I have for 10, 15 years and other things, but I'll stick with video. And I make
great
videos.
So video production, you make videos for people. So how would you explain that to a 5-year-old?
Well, I'm going to pretend that my 5-year-old is listening. I'm going to explain it to her.
I must just
she
spit
often
my water
listens
out
in the morning. She often listens in the morning. So,
all right, 5-year-olds, listen up. This is what video production ears do.
So, Geneva, I know you're listening. I have a camera that shoots video. I hit a little red button and it starts recording. And I make sure all the lighting looks nice, the people look pretty and good, and you can hear what they're saying. I take all of this information, all of it, my camera, I stop recording when they're done doing their cool, awesome thing, whatever it might be. I take that home to my computer. I put this video file on the computer and I put words and sound and all sorts of things with it. And then I give that back out to whoever asked me to make the video. And then they give me money. That's the key point.
That's awesome.
The money part.
So that's being a... Well, most jobs do require money. Not all of them, but that's great, Chris. That's a good explanation. So what is the best part of your job?
Ooh, the best part of my job, this is a straight up sales pitch. I love helping other people make what they thought could happen come true. They say, okay, I want to make a video about XYZ. And I say, we can make XYZ and then start over again at AABBCC. And we can make it even better than you thought.
I love that.
That's what I love doing that. So that's my favorite part.
If someone says, I just want a cup of vanilla ice cream, you're like, all right, let me stop you there. Yes, we can get you that, but we can put fudge, some sprinkles, and maybe even a cherry on there. How does that sound? And they go, I love it. That's even better than my idea. Is that what you do?
Yes, that's definitely what I do. I love it.
That's awesome. Okay, very cool. So if somebody were to stumble upon you working, what would they smell? You asked me this question I was not prepared for. So I'm going to throw it at you. How does a video production guy smell?
When I started working in video production, there were two things that smelled like burning. The lights we used were very bright and hot. And they were these fancy, big, heavy lights. We had to get special gloves. And often when you turn them on, they burn dust that's like near it. And you can kind of smell the dust burning. It's a small burning smell. Also, the cameras themselves used to have little motors in them to spin tape around. We used to use these tape devices inside the cameras, and it would often smell like a little motor. It kind of smells like a burning, but not burning, but like electronics activating. So those are smells you might smell on a video shoot.
That's actually super cool. And if you were shooting out in West Texas and maybe the desert, it might smell like a desert. If you were someplace like in the mountains, it might smell like fir trees. I mean, I'm sure depending on where you're shooting, if you're doing a race car shoot, it would smell like burning rubber and motor oil, I'm sure. So
that's true. And that'll bring us to this day in history.
Well, Chris, thank you for bringing us here to this day in history. That's right. All the excitement. It's history time. On this day in the year 1990, which I often think was like 5 years ago, but it's not. It was a long time ago. I was 5 years old in 1990. Chris, how old were you?
5.
Very cool. So we're the same age. That's neat. On this day in 1990, the Hubble Space Telescope is launched into Earth's orbit. Unhindered by the impurities and distortions of Earth's atmosphere, the 7.9-foot aperture telescope has delivered some of the most spectacular images of the far reaches of the universe. Do you like pictures of space, Chris? Oh, yeah. Go ahead.
Pause it right there. We just talked about the video camera. And
ooh, yes,
there's
aperture.
A camera in space. That's the whole point of the Hubble telescope. It's a space camera.
Okay, so what is an aperture? So 7.9-foot aperture. Tell us what that means in layman's terms, Chris.
On the back of your phone that you might be holding right now is a little camera. And it has a very, very small hole that lets the image in, the light in to the sensor. And the sensor lights up and says, there's colors and light out there. Well, on the Hubble telescope, this hole was 7.9 feet wide. So it was gigantic. You could walk through it. You could walk into the camera.
Yeah, I'm real short, so it would be easy for me to walk through.
And that will do it for this day in history.
This next segment is called the Question of the Day. And if you're new to this, we'll ask a question and encourage you to take a minute to answer the question with those around you. We'll give you about 10 seconds to answer, and if you need more time, feel free to pause the show and come right back. All right, if you had to change one body part to be robotic, what would it be? We'll be right back.
Oh, no.
All right, Chris, welcome back. I hope everybody enjoyed that discussion. If you had the chance to change one part of your body to be robotic, what would it be and why? Okay, I've got an answer. Do you want me to go first, or would you like to go first?
You go first.
Okay, so immediately the first thing I thought of was my eyes. I would love to have robotic eyes because in this scenario I've created and invented, I'm able to look at something and then it's logged away, kind of like in the iCloud. It is now logged away. So I've just created
iCloud.
Heyo, the EYE cloud. Yes. And that's the kind of humor you get for free here on another great day. Yes, I want to be able to look at a book and have it logged away in my brain. have a photograph, literally a photographic memory. I could be the greatest lawyer, the greatest doctor, the greatest judge, the greatest trash guy, the greatest podcaster. I could be a good friend. Actually, I'd be a great husband because I'd actually remember things that people told me. People meaning my wife. She's like, we talked about that. I go, did we? And she's like, yes. On this day at this time, you were sitting right there. You were eating chips. And I was like, okay, yep, that sounds like me. So I'd like to have robotic eyes, which reminds me of the character Geordi from Star Trek The Next Generation, who had a visor that was robotic that helped him because he was blind otherwise. So shout out The Next Generation, the greatest Star Trek show ever. Hot sports opinion. What about you, Chris?
Great.
What robot body part would you replace?
Star Trek, huh? Okay. I was thinking like legs seem like a pretty common thing, but I wanted to go off the wall and I was thinking, and this may seem odd, elbows.
Okay, you're going to have to explain this.
So,
all right, see, sir. Jury is listening.
If I have robotic elbows, the reason why they would be great, you know what I would do? They would have little compartments for storing small items, mostly Tic Tacs that I could give to Geneva in like a movie
elbows
theater or something.
Would be like the small little pocket on the front of your jeans.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. So really, it's just like adding a pocket to the edge of my elbow. That's all I really would.
So you'd have a kangaroo pouch on your elbow. That's what you wanted. All right.
Why not?
You know what? All's fair in love and war here on another great day. Well, great talk today, Chris. Let's take a quick break and check in with our dad joke correspondent on location. Take it away, Wes.
Hey, Chris. Hey, Aaron. I just met a microbiologist and I was shocked. You'd never believe how big he is. He's like a normal person. Have another great day.
I don't know much about microbiology, Chris.
I don't either, but I'm sure it's no small feat to become one.
We'll be right back.
Today's word of wisdom comes to us from Proverbs, chapter 21, verse 26.
NLT version says, some people are always greedy for more. The godly love to give.
The Amplified version of the Bible says, he craves all the day long and does not work, but the righteous willingly gives and does not withhold what he has. Those are two pretty different translations.
Isn't that interesting? Yes, some people are always greedy for more. He craves all day long, but the righteous gives and does not withhold. Interesting.
Please take a moment and discuss this with the people around you.
Well, that'll do it for today. Let's cue the music and wrap things up. Our mission here is to encourage interaction, creativity, and conversation.
So even though today's show may have come to an end, that does not mean your discussions have to come to an end.
We thank you for listening and hope you make it another great day. We'll see you tomorrow. So here's an idea that I have. And if you guys aren't interested, feel free to end the show right here. If not, I'd love some feedback. I have started writing a story. I'd like to read you a couple paragraphs from the story. It's designed for elementary aged kids. And Chris, if you'll allow me, I'd like to read a couple paragraphs from it.
Should I do like sound effects while you're doing it?
No, you don't have to do anything. I'm just going to read it to you. Okay?
All right.
All right, here we go. Chapter 1. Splat. Have you ever been hit in the face with a spitball? Worst part is the surprise reaction you make to getting hit out of nowhere. No, you're just sitting there working on your homework like you're supposed to be doing. Your mind is concentrating on your work because if you don't finish it at school, you're going to have to finish it at home. And that eats into all your free and fun time. So yeah, You're sitting there working and then you react like someone dumped cold water on you. You make a scrunched up face. You squint your eyes, frown your mouth, and of course, spasm like you've been poked in the side with an icicle all at once. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's definitely a gross feeling to have a small piece of paper covered in someone else's spit hit your face. Plus, it makes a tiny splash when it hits. And then, of course, it sticks to you like one of those sticky hands you get from a vending machine. Anyways, my name is Nick, and that's how my days have been going lately. Spitballs from Frank and his peanuts for brain goons, having to put up with silly nicknames from Alex and her I'm so fancy and better than everyone crew. Plus, I have to go every day and put up with my little sister Rory. Imagine having a loose squirrel in your house, but you have to share a room. Yeah, that's Rory. Don't worry, though. I don't get too bummed about any of that. Nope, not at all. I'll tell you now. There's a ton of great things going on in my life. My best friend Andy lives on our street and we get to hang out all the time. Working on a tree fort in the woods behind our house. It's got a ladder and a floor already. Working on getting a railing built so Andy won't be such a scaredy cat when we're up there. It's not that high. When you're up there, it feels like you're on the top of the world. And if you enjoyed that story, there'll be a little bit more tomorrow. And if you don't enjoy it, then I'll stop reading it. I promise you that.
Craig's recording us in 2 separate audio. Yep.
Who's Craig?
It's
I'm not joking. I don't get it.
it's the name of a bot. It's just the name of an app.
This is why old people don't like this. It's confusing.
Yes. The little picture of that dog with a microphone.
It's hilarious.
Craig.
I don't see any of that, but all I see is it says stream room. It's oh, there he is.
The end.